have you noticed it too? Like, over the last year or two, it feels like everyone is just glitching. You try to have a real conversation with someone and it's like nobody is home. It's like they aren't even thinking for themselves anymore. You ask for an opinion and they just spit back out whatever take went viral on TikTok like 3 hours ago. It's honestly kind of terrifying. It feels like everyone is stuck in survival mode, terrified of being canceled or labeled. So they just default to being an NPC. And look, I'm not saying I'm better than anyone. I'm chronically online too. But here is the scary part, and you really need to hear this. If you don't snap out of this right now, you are going to wake up in 5 years and realize you don't actually know who you are. You'll realize your personality is just a Frankenstein mashup of trending audios, core aesthetics, and whatever was popping off on IG. You get one life, right? One single playthrough, and you're really going to spend it being a carbon copy of an algorithm. I want you to really just sit with that for a second. Ask yourself when the last time was that you had a completely original, unfiltered thought that wasn't planted in your head by a 15-second video. It's a heavy question, man. It's the kind of thing that keeps me up at 2 a.m. just mining in a straight line, trying to process what is actually happening to our generation. Because we are watching the death of the individual in real time, and nobody is like really doing anything to stop it. Everyone is just smiling and scrolling while their actual soul gets overwritten by an update. You know, it's really hard for me to pinpoint the exact day or month this shift happened, but you can feel it in the air. It's this massive, heavy, silent disconnect. You can feel it when you walk into a room. You can feel it when you try to text somebody. People are acting like they are reading off a script that they didn't write. It's like everyone's internal voice has just been completely muted, replaced by the background noise of internet drama and whatever vibe they are currently pretending to live in. I was thinking about this the other day while I was out. I just, sort of sat back and watched people, and it genuinely messed with my head. It feels like our society is more connected than any group of humans in history, yet we are completely, utterly lonely. People don't care about you anymore. They really don't. And what's worse, they don't even care about themselves. It's all a performance. If you just actually pay attention to the world around you instead of living in your phone, you have 100% sensed this too. And it's maddening, isn't it? It makes you feel like you are the one going crazy. You look around and you want to shake people and ask, why are you acting like this? Why are you obsessed with things you don't even actually care about? It's like they forgot how to think critically. Whatever that person has seen on their feed over the last few days is the absolute limit of their brain power. They literally cannot have a conversation outside of those strict invisible boundaries. If you pull them out of their comfort zone, if you ask them for an opinion that goes against the current popular crowd, they short circuit, they panic, they physically do not know how to handle a real messy conversation because the internet has taught them that having mixed feelings is dangerous. If you don't fit perfectly into a pre-approved box, you are a threat. And if you want a massive reality check, if you want to see exactly how cooked we are, just go to like a grocery store or walk around your town and try to have a real unscripted interaction with 5 random people. It is jarring, bro. It's like dealing with people who have zero inner monologue. They are terrified of eye contact, terrified of real-world unpredictability. We are living through the biggest identity crisis ever. People do not know who they are without a screen telling them who to be and without getting likes to confirm they are doing a good job. They keep up this exhausting 24/7 performance. And because they are constantly performing, the part of their brain that makes them real has just turned to mush. It's always a calculation. It's like they treat their social lives the way I look at a math problem. If I put on this specific outfit and use this specific trending song on my story, I will get this exact amount of clout. It's completely robotic. Let's talk about that for a second, actually. The music thing is such a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Look at the songs people choose to put on their Instagram stories or their TikToks. It is never just a song they genuinely like. It is always a strategic move. There will be this massive wave where suddenly every single person you know is posting the exact same underground indie artist because it makes them look mysterious and cool. Or if a massive festival is happening, suddenly everyone is posting the exact same mainstream pop track to prove they are part of the moment. There is no middle ground. There is no genuine, weird, personal taste anymore. Your taste in art and music used to be a reflection of who you actually were. Now, it's just a uniform you put on to prove you belong to a specific internet group. And as someone who spends a lot of time editing, working on projects, just kind of isolated in my own world, I get to observe this from the outside. I look at it and I just think, man, this is so incredibly weird. Now, obviously, I'm not gonna sit here on my high horse and act like I'm some enlightened dude who is totally immune to this. I make videos. I literally have to understand the algorithm and play the game to some extent just to get views. I fall into these traps too. But the difference is being aware of it. The difference is feeling that weird friction when you know you are doing something just for the sake of fitting in and actively fighting against it. Because if you don't fight it, you lose yourself entirely. If any of you watching this have recently graduated high school, or if you've moved out and gone to college, you know exactly the vibe I'm about to describe. You go back to your hometown, or you hit up old friends, guys you used to be super tight with, guys you used to sit around with for hours just talking about the future, having real deep conversations. You hit them up, you hang out, and within 10 minutes you realize they are gone. The person you knew is literally gone. You can instantly tell that they traded away every unique part of themselves just for the sake of fitting in with whatever new crowd they stumbled into. They smoothed out all their rough edges, dropped all their weird niche hobbies, and just copied the exact personality of the people around them. And it is deeply depressing to witness. It's like, bro, you have one life. You get one shot at this. The clock is ticking every single second, and you are actively choosing to waste your youth pretending to be someone you aren't. For what? So some frat guys will think you're chill? So some people you don't even actually like will invite you to a party where everyone just stands around looking at their phones anyway. A lot of these people aren't even trying to be fake on purpose. It happens completely in the background. They just slip into this baseline survival mode. They figure out the exact set of takes and opinions they need to have to not get outcast, and they just adopt them without a second thought. They trap themselves in these tiny echo chambers, having the exact same conversations with the exact same people every single day. And it is so incredibly boring. I've realized something specifically about guys lately. It is almost impossible to find someone with mixed interests. Like, I'll try to find a guy who is super dedicated to hitting the gym, someone who actually tracks their stuff, pushes hard on weighted pull-ups, and is genuinely disciplined about fitness. But if I try to find a guy like that who also wants to sit down and talk about life, or who genuinely loves reading, or wants to geek out over video editing, it's like trying to find a unicorn. People just do not mix categories anymore. It feels like there are only 4 or 5 POW types for guys, and maybe 4 or 5 for girls. You have the gym bro, the gamer, the indie art kid, the finance bro, and everyone just perfectly slots themselves into one of these prepackaged identities. When you meet someone new, 90% of the time, you can put them into one of these boxes within 5 minutes of talking to them, and you are almost always right, because they refuse to step out of line. They are terrified of being a walking contradiction. Even though human beings are supposed to be contradictions, we are supposed to be messy and complex and have interests that don't make sense together. But that deep need for validation just overrides everything else. And this dependency on the internet isn't just ruining personalities. It is actually destroying people's ability to function in the real world. Because content is so short and fast, and because AI can basically do our thinking for us now, people have lost the ability to problem solve in real time. If you hang out with these people in reality, you will notice that the second a minor inconvenience happens, they completely freeze. Like, say they are trying to order something, or they are dealing with some basic shipping stuff, and a package gets delayed or a dispatch call gets messed up. Instead of just picking up the phone, calling customer service, and figuring out the problem, they panic. They either just roll over and let life happen to them, or they immediately look for someone else to solve it. I cannot even begin to tell you how many 20-somethings, people my exact age, are still 100% dependent on their parents to handle basic adult life. I'm talking about money, dating advice, scheduling appointments, everything. They are legally adults, but they need to be babied because the internet didn't teach them how to deal with friction. This whole shift has rapidly sped up over the last 5 years. You go out in public and every single head is tilted down. Everything in the world needs to be faster, more colorful, louder. It is relentless. It is so utterly exhausting to just exist in a society that is constantly screaming at you for your attention. And you can see the toll it's taking on people's mental states. Everyone is operating on these two extreme ends. On one hand, you have the people who are completely numb. They are totally checked out of life. They don't care about their future. They don't care about their goals. They are just drifting through life like zombies. And on the other hand, you have people who are chronically anxious, constantly uptight, and if one tiny thing goes wrong with their day, they act like the world is literally ending. There is absolutely no emotional chill left. And a massive part of this anxiety comes from the fear of cancel culture. People are, so deeply terrified of saying the wrong thing, of stepping out of line, of having a bad take, that they just stop having takes altogether. They censor themselves before they even speak. They become robots because being a robot is safe. A robot doesn't get judged. People always talk about this sort of creepy future in terms of George Orwell's 1984. You know the concept. Big Brother is always watching. The government is tracking your every move, and you are forced to fall in line through fear. And sure, we definitely have a massive surveillance issue, especially with how our data is tracked online. But I honestly think that other book, Brave New World, is a way more realistic comparison to what we are living through right now. In Brave New World, the society isn't controlled by fear. They are controlled by pleasure. The people in the book take these drugs that make them feel perfectly content all the time. They are given endless, mindless entertainment. And because they are so incredibly comfortable, because their brains are constantly flooded with dopamine, they don't even have the desire to fight back. They don't want to leave the system because the system feels good. That is exactly what is happening to us. It is the modern version of bread and circuses. If they can just keep you entertained enough, if they can give you enough dopamine through an infinite scroll of 15-second videos, you won't care that your life is slipping away. You can go work a completely draining job, come home, crash in your bed, and fire up Netflix or doom scroll TikTok for 6 hours until you pass out. And if you do that day in and day out, you eventually just become this hollowed out shell of a person. You become a blob that has no original thoughts, no drive, no motivation. You just exist. You are just taking up space in a world that you aren't even really participating in. And that is the real stake here. That is why I am rambling to you over some Minecraft gameplay right now. Because the stakes are your actual life. The internet is a tool, but for most people, it has become a prison that they don't even realize they are locked inside. You need to be able to look in the mirror and know that the person looking back at you is actually you, not a copy-paste mix of the top 10 creators you follow, not a watered-down, boring version of yourself that you created so your friends wouldn't judge you. You, with all your weird, conflicting interests, with your unpopular opinions, with your actual human flaws. Because if you don't grab the steering wheel right now, you are going to blink and you are going to be 30 years old. You are going to look around at a life you didn't actually choose, surrounded by people you don't actually connect with, living a personality that was handed to you by an algorithm. Don't let them make you an NPC in your own life. Step away from the noise. Sit in silence for a little bit. Figure out what you actually care about when nobody is watching. What's the most NPC moment you've ever witnessed someone do in real life? Like a moment where you genuinely felt like you were talking to a programmed robot. I really want to know. I'm not the only one seeing this stuff happening, so let me know down there. Stay safe out there, guys. Catch you in the next one.